Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, man. It seems like it's over. They're not going to be able to make that deep playoff run this season, and it seems like a wasted year. One thing I know for sure is that Brian Flores deserves to be the defensive coordinator for this team, and that Kevin O'Connell's job should be safe with this team as well. He's been a very good play caller with this team, and he's a very good head coach. The only thing that held this team back this season, only things that held this team back this season were the turnovers by the players and the injury of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins may have a certain ceiling in the NFL. But I do believe with the way that this team was playing this season, if he was fully healthy, they could have made that deep playoff run. We have not seen Kirk Cousins play with a top-end defense ever in his career. You go back and look at those years when he had with the then Washington Redskins, their defense was not good. And you look at his tenure with the Minnesota Vikings, the defense hasn't been on the top end either. You look at what happened last season. The offense was very good. They were able to win one-score games. This season, not as much. The offense was still very productive, but their defense was letting them down last season. Their defense early on was not that good. And Brian Flores is trying to figure some things out. He started to tweak his game plan week to week. He blitzed more, and he left guys on the island. And the secondary played very good down the stretch. And the defense played very good as well. Right when things are getting good, Kirk Cousins tears that Achilles. I do expect for them to re-sign him in free agency, but they should also do this as well. Draft a quarterback in the first round or in the second round and have that guy behind Kirk Cousins. Because Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback. Not great. He's a good quarterback. The thing is with Kirk Cousins, he's older now. He's not that same quarterback he was a couple years ago when you first signed him. Kirk Cousins, very good quarterback to have on your roster. But if you can draft a young guy to come in the next 2 to 3 years, you could be in a very good situation. Because you look at the weapons on this team. You have TJ Hockenson, who is a top receiving tight end in the NFL. You also have a very good wide receiver in Justin Jefferson, who is one of the best wide receivers in the game. And you also have Jordan Addison, who is phenomenal as well, who you spent a first round pick on in last year's draft class. You have elite weapons on the perimeter. So a rookie quarterback can come in and they can make his life easy just having these weapons and having a very good offensive coach and Kevin O'Connell as well. But definitely keep Kirk Cousins around. This is not a get rid of Kirk Cousins video, and this is not an all doom and gloom video either. This team has talent on the defensive side as well. Danielle Hunter is one of the best pass rushers in the league. Re-sign him to a long-term extension. He is phenomenal. And you have some very good players in the secondary as well. As long as Brian Flores is there and he's able to mold those guys, you'll be in a very good situation. But it came down to the injuries this year with Justin Jefferson missing games and just the weird turnovers. And Kirk Cousins was having a very good season before he tore his Achilles. It was just a lot of just bad plays this season. You look at him early on this season against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're making that comeback. But Justin Jefferson had a fumble at the goal line. It became a touchback. Those could have been 6 or 7 points that could have went in your favor. And the run game was very inconsistent this year. And to be completely honest, they didn't really have a strong run game throughout the entire season. And that is not because the running backs on the roster. That's really because of the offensive line. So go in, retool the offensive line, and you can run this thing back next season with Kirk Cousins if that defense is in a very good situation. Because Kirk Cousins has shown you in the past, he can get you to the NFL playoffs. Now, can he win some playoff games? That's a question. That's a big question. But also this season as well, when they went against San Francisco 49ers, they were not 100% all the way. They went out and they beat that team. Now, I understand the San Francisco 49ers are dealing with a lot of injuries, but you look at the plays that Jordan Addison was able to make, and you look at what Kirk Cousins was able to do against that defense when they were when their defense was basically 100% healthy, their offense just wasn't healthy. He looked very good in that Monday Night Football game. And I do think that Kevin O'Connell can get the most out of Kirk Cousins than any other coach in the NFL. This team is not just in a horrible situation moving forward because you have those elite weapons. But right now, this was a wasted season for this team. But you got to see the brilliance of Brian Flores. And you also have this question answered for you as well. You don't have a true backup on this roster. Josh Dobbs is a nice story in theory. He's not a true backup quarterback in the NFL. He's a third string at best because of his decision making and his horrible accuracy at times. His accuracy basically almost got Justin Jefferson out for the rest of the season. And you look at Nick Mullins, has a lot of dumb mistakes, man. And his accuracy deep is just terrible. Throwing 4 interceptions against the Detroit Lions, and you only lose that game by 6 points, that's pretty impressive if you ask me. Because if he did that against any other team, more than likely you're going to get blown out by 3 to 4 touchdowns. And Nick Mullins basically also cost them a game against the Cincinnati Bengals as well, when he had that fumble that went to defensive tackle. He also had another horrible interception in that game as well. You have to go out there, draft a quarterback that can sit behind Kirk Cousins and hope that Kirk Cousins can stay healthy, and you can be in that race in the NFC to get things going. But let me know in the comment section below what the Minnesota Vikings should do moving forward. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, when each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.